Hello YouTube, my name is Adam, and today we are going to be talking about the first episode of Loki. Joining me is the biggest Loki nerd I know, my mom.
Hello YouTube!
So, before we get into any spoilery stuff, the show was great.
So great.
Loki and Mobius's characters worked incredibly well together.
Super funny.
Definitely helped by Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson being the ones playing the characters. I'm super looking forward to seeing how the rest of the show plays out and how much more world building with the multiverse they can do.
Yeah, definitely. There are so many avenues to explore that they set up. I think it's going to be very cool.
Alright, so before we get into anything spoilery, spoiler warning, if you haven't watched the episode, hop off the video.
Now's the time. Peace out.
Now's the time. Alright, so...
Oh, and a quick note, right? Because your channel's brand new and we don't need you getting busted for copyright infringement already.
We are just going to be having
We're just going to talk. And Adam's going to
talking.
put up some screenshots.
We're not going to have any actual clips from the show.
Because we don't know how it works
really
yet.
know how it works yet.
And
so.
nobody needs to tick off the mouse this
Yes.
early. You don't want to anger the mouse. It's bad news.
Don't anger the mouse. It's
Okay.
bad news.
He'll eat you.
Alright.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know.
Probably not. I've met him a
Probably
couple
not.
times. He's very nice.
What,
Anyway,
you have?
moving
You've met
on.
Mickey Mouse?
Twice.
What?
Yeah, he's cool.
Cool.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, moving on. Spoiler warning, get off now if you haven't seen the episode.
Come back
Just
later.
Come back later after you've watched it. Alright. 5 seconds to get off. If you're still here,
You must have
Do
seen the
want spoilers.
episode,
You must have
or
seen
like
it.
too
You
bad
must
for
see
you.
it, or
Sorry.
you don't care.
All right.
First thing we want to talk about is the cartoon with Miss Minutes.
Craziness.
Craziness. So it talks about a ancient multiversal war with a whole bunch of different universes battling for dominance over space and time. Then the timekeepers come along and they're like, hey, we should stop this. So they merge all the timelines into one sacred timeline. Which basically
You have to
stops
do it with the hands. Sacred timeline. I like it.
Thank you.
It should be a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Copyright trademark, Sopratum27 YouTube channel, Sacred Timeline.
Anyway.
Moving on. So, she talks about how they basically saved the multiverse by slapping it all into one thing.
Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes.
Yes.
Miss Minutes.
Creepy Clock of Destiny.
Creepy clock of doom, death, destruction, and destiny.
With just the best southern accent.
Yes.
Feel
Voiced
free to
by
let
Tara
us know
Strong.
how you're doing.
Voiced by Tara Strong, who is also Starfire in Teen Titans Go.
Cool note. And somebody in Rick and Morty, right?
And somebody in Rick
Which
and
we
Morty.
have not watched,
Which we have not watched.
but we'll get to that.
Cartoon show suggestions can be in the comments if you want. Whoa. Brain.
Yeah, so the cartoon explained
Sorry, the cartoon explains
crazy multiverses,
crazy
big
multiversal
war.
stuff. And
TVA
then
blended it
TVA
all
blends it all together.
into one.
And then it moves on to talking about the variants
Right.
and how those happen.
And the sacredness of the timeline is why the variants
Why
are
the
such a big
variants are
deal.
such a big deal. And that is caused by you doing anything, being late, even, that is not intended in the timeline.
Right.
And they
So when
use
you
very
deviate from
different
that
examples.
timeline,
Yes.
then there's like the little branches are
There's little
created.
branches, and then if you get too far off the path, it can cause a whole bunch of other branches to get too far off the path. Then that could explode the timeline back into a multiverse and start another war.
Which is what the
is what
TVA
is trying to
is
stop.
trying to prevent.
All right.
Which was just super
Which
cool
is
because
very
that
cool.
opened up
Opened up the multiverse.
like
door.
right away, like here's how your multiverse works, and it's coming back,
and it's coming back.
and
Maybe if
here's how it
Loki
was, here's how
ends-
it could happen again.
Maybe if Loki ends by doing something with the timekeepers, whether it be murder or sleep, that like explodes the timeline back into the multiverse, just in time for Doctor Strange.
Right, yeah. It opens up a lot of options, plus
Opens up a lot of doors.
Kang coming up in
Ant-Man 3.
Quantumania, right? He also big
He
into
is
the time traveling,
big into time
multiverse jumping, so
Yep.
it's kind of laying some groundwork for a lot of things that could be coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very much so.
cool.
Cool.
Plus Miss Minute. Did we
Plus
mention
Miss
how great
Minutes.
Miss
Did we
Minutes
mention
is?
Miss Minutes?
She's just like, she's cute
New
and she's
Rockstars.
creepy and she's got a little southern accent and I love her.
New Rockstars has some really cool stickers of Miss Minutes, which we are going to be getting very soon.
Yes, they are on their way in the mail as we speak.
All right.
Excellent.
So, next thing
Yes, moving on. Next point.
we want to talk about is the Nightmare Department. What is that?
Which is so crazy because Owen Wilson was just like, oh, I'll help you burn down Nightmare.
Nightmare
And then they
Department.
just moved on.
And
Like,
then they just move on.
time out, you have a whole Nightmare
Have an
Department?
entire Nightmare Department. Rockstar has posed a very interesting theory that the Nightmare Department is because whenever anything is reset in the timeline, using the Chronomonitor's crazy wands of doom, there's still a remnant of it that remains as either dreams or nightmares.
Right, like when you're part of a variant and your timeline gets reset, you have a little like shard of that in your
Shard of
subconscious
that.
still that becomes your nightmares. So that's why the TVA has any reason to care about
We can care about nightmares.
nightmares. But it still would be really
It'd
cool if
still
it was
be
just
very cool
Nightmare.
If it was just Nightmare the dude, who is one of Doctor Strange's main villains.
Like when he's not wrecking all of the universes, he's
not
just like
wrecking
chilling in
everything.
his office drinking coffee.
Chilling, having coffee.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
That would be hilarious. Stay tuned for me drawing that. at
Burn
some
down
point,
his
maybe.
office with him in it, just like end the madness.
All right. So
And the other thing that
The
like
other
just
thing
really jumped out as
really
being
popped out at us
ridiculous was that
was a
drawer
of
of-
Infinity Stones.
yes, crazy.
And like, how are they useless? At first, we thought it was because maybe they weren't in their own timelines.
Right, like when they're pulled out of their reality that they're supposed to be in, they just aren't functioning more. But you pointed out
Then we remembered Endgame, where none of the stones that they used to bring everyone back, and none of the stones that Tony uses to end the battle, are from that timeline. They're all from different points throughout history.
so right, like why would those be
Why
effective?
would those be effective?
But
the
these
other
are just
ones not.
junk in a drawer.
So maybe the more variant stones that pile up in a specific area decrease the power of them. And they've amassed so many that now they basically just do nothing.
And potentially too, like if the variants arrive with a stone or arrive because they've messed with a stone and then when that timeline is reset,
There's a stray
like that sucks the
stone.
power away because in Endgame those timelines were still sort of open and screwed up because they had
Yes.
taken the stones but not returned them.
But then at the end, Cap also puts them back,
So-
which supposedly fixes everything.
potentially that maybe has some
Potentially that,
relationship.
yes.
But I loved that moment where they found like Loki and Casey were looking at the drawer of Infinity Stones was kind of like what really brought the realization onto Loki, like
Yeah.
this is everything that I was hinging the rest of my life on and taking over the earth for these flippin' stones and they're just in this drawer and they're useless.
Drawer.
Like reality as I thought I knew it is not
Is
what I
not
thought it was,
existent.
and like these people are so powerful. That was sort of a little bit of a turning arc for him in just how he seemed like he was proceeding with the rest of the show.
And Casey specifically says some of the guys use them as paperweights. But like, what do the other guys use them as? Comment your ideas below. Well, we personally think one of the other guys might have been Kang at some point.
I feel like there just has to be a Kang tie-in, right? Like it's
'Cause,
such
like,
an obvious
The TVA is built around time.
potential connection
Kang
because
is
he's
built around time.
such a time jumper. But we're curious to hear what other people think
Yeah.
too, because like
Super curious to hear what other people think.
we're definitely into it. We're definitely nerding out, but
But
also definitely not by any means
Definitely.
the most
by no means
like
the most
comic canon knowledgeable like we've read,
knowledgeable.
but definitely interested
Yeah.
to hear what other people are thinking.
Mhm.
And I think before we would say goodbye, like it's just exceptionally important
to
to
that we
mention.
give a final note. The stained glass window in France is not Mephisto.
We
It's not
100% were on the Mephisto train
And
during
during
WandaVision. We are huge
We are
new rock stars.
huge new rock stars,
And
fans.
my favorite jam is Real Rejects
Real
because I
Rejects,
love
yes.
watching them just get so freaking excited about things.
Yes.
They like make me so happy to watch. But everybody was riding the Mephisto train.
Mephisto.
And it was Agatha, and I love that.
It was Agatha all along.
But this window it's a reference to Loki
a reference to
being
Loki
like the horned
being
devil, and the whole
horned.
like cast down from heaven,
Yeah.
like came from the sky. Like it's a tie-in. Tom Hiddleston, stunning in this show. Like obviously I'm a fan, whatever. Loki's been my favorite Avenger since forever. Adam is somewhat dismayed that his mother would like, you know, like pick the supervillain of all of the Avengers to be like, yeah. But he was
whatever.
he was glorious. He's an amazing actor.
And he ended up being a good guy.
The bit of a scene where he's watching his life unfold and reacting, like he's fantastic. And the scene work, just the like pure acting moments, like him and Owen Wilson at the table together interacting, and him and Casey ducked down behind the, like there's just a lot of really great
A lot of really good stuff.
acting and dialogue and like meaty character stuff happening in the show, in addition to it being super sci-fi and wild and funky and a weird like old school Twilight Zone-y element almost,
Yeah.
with like, you know, the cute little clock, but like, is she waiting to kill you? The like funky letters, the weird music, like I feel like it's bringing so many things together that it's gonna be absolutely fantastic.
Comment what you think of Miss Minutes actually is.
Yes, what is that clock? Like, she can't just be a cute little clock with a
can't
southern
just be a
accent.
mascot.
There's gotta be something going on. I am super excited to see
I am
finally
super
the
excited
reveal of the
Find out
cloaked
who the
hooded figure. That was a
is.
wicked way
Wicked way
to take those people
take
out,
those
man.
guys,
Like,
yeah.
whoever that is, and I'm thinking maybe whoever she is.
She is, yes.
Right, we're leaning towards thinking it's
leaning towards
Lady Loki.
Yes.
Yeah, that was harsh. So I'm definitely curious to see how that unfolds. Can't wait to see the next episode.
Can't wait to see the next episode.
I may have given unnecessarily permissive parental permission that we could watch it at 3 a.m. when it drops because it's summer break.
Yeah.
So the next React video might be coming up at a really
Be
crazy
at a really weird
early time in the morning.
Who's
Who's
to
to
say?
say? Did we cover it all?
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
Excellent. Thank you
Let's
for
go.
having me on your channel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope everybody is having
Hope everyone's having a great Thursday.
a lovely Thursday. Happy Pride
Happy
Month.
Pride Month, yes.
Rocking the whole month of June.
Ah, yes.
Hope everybody's got a great
Everybody's-
weekend coming up. Fun plans for the summer. I maybe will be invited back for some future Loki chats.
She will be back. Maybe every Loki if she wants to.
Wow, thank you.
And also, there might be food videos coming up that might be all her. Who's to say?
Excellent. This is gonna be a great channel. I love that
Yeah.
you're doing such a variety of content. Yeah. I love that I have administrative control to delete comments. If anybody says anything inappropriate, don't do it. Fight me. Invoke the mama bear.
You know somebody's gonna do it now.
Somebody's doing it just to see if I delete it
One
now.
of the like 50 people that watched the first one. They're gonna
Okay.
do it.
We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes
right.
out. Anyway.
Thank you all for watching. Like,
This has
subscribe.
been lots of
Anything else
fun.
you want to say?
No? Can't wait to see what you're doing next with your channel.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.